Okay, let's open this budget hearing. I'll begin by reading the notice of hearing. A public notice is hereby given that the Board of County Commissioners of Bonneville County, Idaho will meet on the 31st day of August 2023 at 2 p.m. in the Bonneville County Elections Conference Room at 497 North Capitol Avenue, Idaho Falls, Idaho, for the purpose of considering and fixing a final budget and for making appropriations to each office, department, service, agency, or institution and fund for the 2023 and 2024 fiscal year, at which time any taxpayers may appear to be heard upon any and all, any part or parts of said budget. Money to be levied includes a foregone amount not to exceed $390,000 to use for increase in the city contract for law enforcement dispatch. Reasonable accommodations will be provided upon request to allow persons with disabilities to attend and participate. Persons, and then it goes on to give the instructions if they need those. The following table sets forth the amount proposed to be appropriated to each office or department in the 2023-24 fiscal year, together with 2022 and 2023 adopted budget and the actual expenditures for salaries, wages, benefits, and other expenses during each of the two previous fiscal years by the said offices or department, to wit. That's the requirements of Idaho statute that was presented to us by our Chief Budget Clerk, Penny Manning, and deemed to be appropriate. So we will proceed by having our clerk, Penny Manning, go through and give the highlights and some, just a general overview. And then if there's any questions, she'll stand for questions. But no, we'll take any public comment, or you guys are part of the public too. So go ahead.
Okay, we're glad you're here. Thank you for coming. This is for the taxpayers of Bonneville County, for the Board of County Commissioners. As part of the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget, we wish to include a basic explanation of the county budgeting process. The department heads, the county clerk, and Board of Commissioners have closely reviewed all county budgets during the budget preparation period. This process has allowed the Board of Commissioners to give management and control input of the county during the upcoming fiscal year. The adoption of a workable budget which adequately funds the required needs follow a thorough scrutiny of budget line item requests. I've listed just a summary up here on the board, so I'm going to just elaborate a little bit on this. The budget for fiscal year 23 and 24 will increase approximately $950 from this current year's budget.
Okay. Is it on? Oh, there we go. I know I speak quietly. Sorry about that. So it'll decrease $950,000 from this current year's budget. The amount results from a combination of reducing operating expenses and increasing compensation for Bonneville County employees. If inflationary costs have made it essential to address the wages of Bonneville County employees. Bonneville County values its employees and recognizes that savings and service come to the taxpayer as we retain employees through competitive wages. Expenses were cut in various parts of the budget to allow a substantial cost of living increase. The cost of living and merit increases for existing Bonneville County employees will cost the county more than $3 million. The proposed budget reflects a 5% cost of living increase, as well as funding for the eligible step increases for Bonneville County employees. While the overall needs of a continuing growing county like per 100,000 of property value. All county funds are stable for the coming year. The expected revenue from property taxes, miscellaneous projected revenue, and the available cash balance will be adequate to support the proposed budget. In addition, as Bonneville County continues to monitor its self-funded health insurance policy, the premium will need to increase by 3% for the upcoming fiscal year. We save a lot of money by being self-funded, which is to the employee's benefit. The health insurance premium, including the increase for Bonneville County's employees, will continue to be covered and paid at 100% by the county for the employees, as well as 70% of the insurance costs for the family members. The additional cost to employees with that 3% increase for full family coverage will be about $6.40 per pay period, and prorated as the employee chooses. Vision is included in this coverage. The county saves, again, on health insurance by being self-funded. Dental insurance continues to be paid at 100% for county employees and family members by the county. Bonneville County will continue to pay for basic life insurance on each employee in the amount of $50,000 death benefit and $50,000 for accidental death. Spouse and children have limited coverage as well. An employee assistant plan is available to all employees and is covered at 100%. Now it is proposed, I'm not sure I got this up there, it is proposed to increase several county fees. I have a list of those fees in front of the commissioners. None of the mentioned fees will constitute an increase in property taxes. It is also, one of the fees that we're looking at increasing is the landfill fee from $88 per household to $120 per household unit. This increase will provide needed funds to increase capacity at the transfer station, the opening of a new cell at Peterson Hill, and required equipment upgrades to accommodate the increased demand on our county waste disposal. Several new positions have been required to be included in this budget as a result of increased needs of our county. Offices receiving funding for new position include adult probation, building and grounds, the prosecuting attorney's office, and funding for the elected coroner to become a full-time position. This past year, the county was able to complete this new elections facility, for which we are very grateful, and is now working on several road projects as well as expanding the jail. These have become necessities for the growing county. These projects will all be completed without additional burden to taxpayers as Bonneville County tries to remain conservative in its spending. At this time, we want to thank the elected officials and department heads for their significant efforts to submit a very reasonable and responsible budget to the commissioners. We believe that the budget we are proposing for the 2023-2024 budget year will achieve our goal of continuing to provide the citizens of Bonneville County with the kind of excellent service to which they are accustomed on a conservative budget, as well as work towards stronger retention of employees. We do appreciate all of our employees at Bonneville County for the outstanding contribution they make to the county and the community, and compliment them for the outstanding work that is performed. I present this to you.
She's not the only one with a soft voice. With that, before we open it up for questions and comments among the commissioners, do we have anybody online or in the audience, members of the public who wish to have input or have questions answered? If there's anybody online, going once? Okay, with that, hearing no public comment, we'll open it up for discussion, probably preceded by some comments on the budget process by each of the commissioners.
Well, I'll go ahead and start out. In the time that I've been here, I found that the budget process is really in-depth and takes a lot of work. And I really appreciate all of the other elected officials and the department heads, all of the support staff and the offices that all work so hard to help develop this budget. Specifically, in every meeting that we had and every every step along the way. We had Ron and Tanya, Chris, of course, Penny, and they were all just, doing everything possible to deliver every number that we needed, and crunch ideas that we had, and to be able to come up with different scenarios. But they all worked really hard, and I really do appreciate all of them. From the very start, I think the very first time we met, we talked about the importance of doing all we can to get another healthy cost of living increase for employees. This makes 2 years in a row we've been able to do 5%, with the steps and the grades, and we hope that that shows the commitment we have to our employees and the value that we see in them, and our desire to make Bonneville County a great place to work. And I see that in our employees, that they are just willing to do all that they can to serve the citizens of Bonneville County and do it in a county way, in a cost-efficient way. And so I really appreciate that. As far as the budget, I think it's amazing that we were able to hold the line on it, in fact, decreasing over last year's budget. When I was looking through the numbers, if you include the Justice Fund and the courts, that's 43% of the budget. That's what it costs to take care of criminal activity in the county, which is unfortunate, but something that we all have to realize. And because of that, we put a lot of value in our sheriff's office, and just the Justice Fund budget is over 1/3 of our entire budget, because we really do value what they do. And I hope that sometime in my life we'll see the percentage of crime in the county budget come down, rather than continue to go up. But I think it's a great budget. I'm really happy with where we ended up on it.
Yeah, I just really like to express my appreciation for the two gentlemen up here who do all the really hard work. The further I dive into the budget, the more I understand, the more I realize how much hard work is done into where we are over the past decade or two or three. The fact that Bonneville County is solvent and stable at a time when economies nationwide are questionable and in danger, I think says a tremendous amount. And to be able to reduce property taxes, reduce the tax burden on our citizens at the same time that we maintain a strong county, I think is one thing.
End of story.
End of story.
Okay. Well, and I'll echo a lot of what's been said here. I've done 1 or 2 of these budgets, or 2 or 8, like 28, since we've been here, and this is the most involved and the most cooperative I've witnessed, and I think it's, because we're getting a more refined system. We've tried to put the resources 3 or 4 years ago into bringing things up to date. We've got a new accounting software system, which is driving most of you nuts, trying to figure out how to use it. But the clerk's office has done a great job in pulling that together and getting it to the point where we're not trying to just dig numbers out and take our gut feel, and getting a lot closer. The stability, we've always tried to save up and then pay cash, plan ahead and pay cash, which is one of the reasons we've been able to, in the slower economy right now, give the decent cost of living. And I think Commissioner Reed pointed to it. We told everybody right in the beginning, our main goal is to try to get what we can to the employees. So if you could curb your other appetites this year, that would be great. And they did it. We didn't have to sit and argue over how many pencils you're going to buy and things like that, because they found ways to streamline that so we could put it into a cost of living. 2 years at 5%. You forgot to mention the year before at 4%. you know, that's helping us catch up to where we're becoming a lot more competitive and attractive. And what makes it attractive is the work atmosphere. And I think Brian calls it the county way. You know, that's kind of who we are. I mean, just basic get her done stuff. And that takes everybody's cooperation. And I want to give you as much praise for that as I have in any other year, only more. So thank you. So with that, we'll entertain motions.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the increase in fees, and this includes the increase in fees in the sheriff's office, car insurance, and return process fees, as well as the fee increases that we approved in the county.
Do we have a second?
Second that motion.
Okay, motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Motion to, well, we do the next, who's doing the next motion on the floor?
Okay.
Okay.
I would move the recovery and use of foregone.
I'll second that. I'd like to point out the purpose of that.
No.
Right, I mean, the real purpose of we're needing to take that 390,000, which is out of a total $4 million plus foregone that the county has in reserves because of the conservative spending that particularly Commissioner Christensen has shown the last 28 years. But that 390,000 is necessary to come out of foregone in order to satisfy our dispatch contract with the city of Idaho Falls. I'll speak louder. You can. With the city of Idaho Falls. So with that, I'll second it.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any other motions?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget, which is at $119,190,748.
I would second that motion.
Okay, a motion and a second to approve the budget. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Okay, next.
I move we approve the elected official salary as printed.
I'll second that, but I'm being a little chatty today, I guess.
Some of this needs explanation.
Well,
You-
that part has always been a little uncomfortable for me, but I have understood that the way Bonneville County has done it for years is elected officials take the exact same fee or wage increases as all county employees. We just treat ourselves the same as any county employee. And when we did a survey of other elected officials across the state, Bonneville County was lower than nearly every county of our size. And so I felt good about that. So that'll be my second.
Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously because I voted aye. In other words, what he was trying to say is, in the years when we don't give as good a cost of living, we live by the same rules, so misery likes company. So, okay, I think that wraps it up. We'll sign the documents. Thank you again, and it won't be long before we start on next year's budget, which
Monday.
Oh, yeah, we have our brand's newest employee. Where is he? Oh, hey, stand up, because he probably looks familiar to a lot of you. He's the new facilities supervisor. We're trying to get him around to meeting everybody. Former sheriff's office employee, former deputy, comes. I think his wife wanted him in a little safer profession for a while, so he's been out in the construction industry for quite some time, but he comes and we're impressed with his skill level, and he'll be getting around. So when you see this strange guy, go and call security. So he's the one you call a drug to. Okay, with that, this meeting is adjourned.
Have moved meeting right.